All right, PK, we were talking about this earlier in What is Trending. I do expect BYU to win tonight. You think my expectations are misplaced? Maybe I'm just not in tune with how vulnerable this team has become, how well scouted it is now. You know, they do a lot of isolation ball. Maybe teams have adapted to that, and we talked about the lack of depth. That's obvious. I was looking at this. If they lose to Baylor, how many more wins do they have on their schedule? I mean, Colorado at home, maybe UCF. I mean, if they lose this one.
I don't do that. No, I disagree on that. I think they can win every game that they play on their schedule. I'm not saying that they should lose tonight, but I'm not saying they should win.
They're a young group struggling to find themselves, so there's just no telling what's going to happen tonight?
Right. And you're so reliant on three guys. If one of them has a bad shooting night, it's hard. I think they all need to score in the 20s. I was listening to, got on the conference call at 11:30 yesterday with Kevin Young, and I went back last night and watched some of the plays, and DeBonsa needs to get in there. I know you want to be a perimeter guy, but for this team to win, you need to do the dirty work. At least two that came to mind off that.
Are you talking rebounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then when they had defensive rebounds, when Houston had offensive boards, he was standing right behind the action. When that shot goes up, he needs to sprint to the boards if he's on the perimeter.
He's got to find a way to get in the mix and then use his size, his length, and his athleticism.
Right.
To not grab the ball, at least tip it out to a teammate. But none of these or watching the putback
if the other guy gets it, then you're there to defend him.
Right.
And in a double team. So
block
there's a whole bunch
him.
of traffic right there.
Yeah.
So he may get the offensive rebound, but it's not an uncontested, easy putback where he is got Keita on his right shoulder so he can just go up on his left, and DeBonsa's standing on the perimeter on the left. He needs to get in there and contest. So even if they have the ball from the offensive rebound, what can they do with it? And the second they put it on the floor, it's going to be smacked away. So, and Kevin Young mentioned that Saturday night, or not, they played Saturday, right? Yeah. That, his assistants said a couple of times DeBonsa may have leaked. Well, the ones I saw, he wasn't leaking. He's just standing there. He needs to get inside, and that's not his game. But if the team wants to win, that needs to be his game this year. And then you can go be the pretty boy in the NBA and don't get your hands dirty and be the potential superstar that you have. But for this team to win, they need him. They need Saunders. Because Saunders has got some height to him also. Those guys are perimeter guys.
Yeah.
But their big guys aren't good enough to do it on their own. They need some help. And if they get that, and I still have hope for them, the hope is not lost whatsoever. But at the same time, it's now I am a wait and see. What do you show? What do you have when you play? Because at this point, I'm assuming nothing, good or bad.
He's the leading rebounder, a little over 6 a game, but in these 5 losses, he's only averaging 4 rebounds a game. And he's got to get back to where he was. All the big wins early that got people excited, you look at that, and he had 8 rebounds when they beat Miami, and he had 9 rebounds when they came back and beat Clemson. It's like, that's the neighborhood he's got to be in. The 4 rebounds a game and flat-footed, with the heels on the three-point line, watching Keita battle for rebounds, just isn't going to beat good teams in the Big 12. And it's not going to win Big 12 road games. And they don't have many bad teams in the Big 12 left at home. I covered everything else.
Well, they've already played them.
Right, yeah. So this is it. And it's 4 rebounds isn't good enough. He's got to get back to where he was.
And they need to demand it out of him.
Yeah.
Young has to lower the boom a little bit more on these guys, and I don't know if he is, but if he is, the coddling is done because it is. It sounds
like he is
time right now.
The clear-cut frustration in the postgame. It felt like the PR, the upbeat stuff you got to do because you're always recruiting your guys and blah blah blah. that was gone against Houston. Just the sheer frustration of losing 4 in a row and 5 out of 6. I thought you could hear it in multiple answers.
Well, he didn't have to recruit DeBonce or Saunders. They're gone.
Nope, they're gone.
And if Wright wants to leave, who knows what he's going to do. What's his face? What's the coach's name down there, Baylor, from that family?
Scott Drew.
Yeah, Drew. He's talking about how, well, you think you think a kid would stay when he signed a contract.
Right.
But
so if he'll
apparently
leave,
he didn't.
if he'll leave and leave that coach like that, well, maybe he leaves you feeling like that.
Right.
And there's no telling what's going to happen in the summer.
That's the thing that they have to evaluate, BYU. Is that something they want? Now, Hall is a senior. Maybe if you don't recruit right, Hall stays. He's a senior. But I'm talking about guys who are freshmen and sophomores. The LDS kid, if he's playing and he has married or is dating a Cougarette, there's a good chance that he'll stay.